David had always been a restless sleeper, but that night felt different. When he woke up gasping for air, the room was so dark it felt like the walls were closing in around him. He blinked hard, trying to regain his senses, when he suddenly heard it thop, 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 slow. Heavy footsteps echoing through the hallway. David froze. The sound was too real. Too close. He pushed himself off the bed and walked toward the bathroom. The moonlight cut across the tiles, giving the place a cold, uneasy glow. As he stood there staring at his reflection, a strange feeling crept up his spine, like someone was watching him from the corner of the room. He turned sharply. No one. He splashed cold water on his face and tried to calm himself. Maybe he was overthinking. Maybe he was tired. Then a sudden crackling sound came from the mirror. David leaned forward. The lights flickered, and for a brief second, a stranger's face appeared behind him in the reflection. Dark, hollow, motionless. David spun around in fear, but the room was empty. His heart thudded violently. Something was off. Something was wrong in this house. But he didn't know yet he was not alone. Morning light filtered through the curtains, but David felt no relief. His eyes were dull, tired, like something had drained the strength out of him. Just then, thop, 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 the footsteps again. This time, right behind him in the corridor. He jerked around. Nothing. The house felt alive, like the walls were listening. He walked slowly toward the hall. The wooden floor creaked under every step, echoing through the empty silence. A cold breeze slid past his neck. It wasn't just air. It felt like a breath, a whisper. David flinched. His phone lit up on its own. No call, no message, just the camera app open without him touching it. But the screen didn't show his room. It showed complete darkness. Then the screen flickered, and for a split second, a face appeared behind him. He gasped and turned instantly. No one. His chest tightened. His mind refused to accept it, but his body already knew. Something was inside the house with him. Trying to regain control, David walked into the kitchen, hoping routine would ground him. But the moment he stepped in, his blood ran cold. Every utensil was scattered across the floor, as if thrown violently. This wasn't an accident. He knelt near the sink to inspect things more closely. That's when he saw it. A fresh, dark red fingerprint on the kitchen slab. Blood. He staggered back, horrified. The room grew colder, unnaturally cold. Behind him, the corridor faded into pure darkness. And in that darkness, a tall shadow stood motionless. David's breath stopped. The shadow didn't move, but it felt like it was staring directly at him. He blinked, and the shadow vanished. But now, on the slab, a new message was smeared in blood. Don't look at him again. A warning? A threat? Either way, David felt the walls closing in. David's mind raced. Who was him? And when had he seen him the first time? Nothing made sense. Determined to find answers, he decided to search the entire house. Maybe someone had broken in. Maybe this was human. Maybe. He walked upstairs, but each step echoed unnaturally, like someone else was walking right behind him, matching his pace. He turned. Empty hallway. He entered his bedroom. Everything looked normal except for one thing. A small, old black and white photograph lying on the bed. His heart sank. The photo showed a little girl around 7 or 8, wearing a white dress. Behind her stood the same dark figure David had seen before. His hands trembled as he flipped the photo. On the back, written in faded ink, she saw him too. David's throat went dry. Before he could think further, the wardrobe door burst open with a loud bang. Pitch black inside. Too black. He walked closer slowly, painfully. Bending down, he stared into the darkness and suddenly felt warm breath on his ear. Someone whispered, "Don't turn around." David froze. A presence stood behind him. He could feel it close, too close. A cold pressure on his spine, as if something was leaning over him. He didn't move. That thing breathed inches from his neck. David's muscles locked in terror. His heart slapped against his ribs. "Don't turn around." A whisper mixed with a faint, eerie laugh. He felt a cold hand touch his shoulder. David couldn't take it anymore. He spun around in panic. and came face to face with something that wasn't human. Tall, thin, a figure made entirely out of darkness, with two hollow pits where eyes should be. It leaned over him, staring without blinking. David tried to scream, but no sound came out. The entity raised its hand and touched David's face. Instantly, a sharp chill shot through him. He felt like pieces of his identity memories, emotions, life were being drained away. He stumbled back, tripped, and crashed to the floor. The darkness moved toward him, spreading across the room like a living shadow. Desperate, David forced himself up and ran down the stairs, through the hall. The shadow followed, not walking, but flowing behind him. He reached the front door and pulled locked. He yanked it harder, nothing. He slammed it, nothing. But then, suddenly, it opened. David burst out into the street, gasping for air. He turned back toward the house. All the windows were pitch black, and in one of them, the blank, hollow face stared right at him. David never went back inside. The police searched the house. No intruder, no footprints, no fingerprints, no blood, no photograph. Just one thing. Inside the wardrobe, scratched deep into the wood, he stays with whoever sees him. David understood. The creature wasn't in the house anymore. It was with him. Always. Everywhere.